So my name's Tracy Madgwick. I'm an HR consultant, so I work with action planning to support our clients on their various and numerous people issues, and boy, have there been a lot of those this year. What I wanted to do was just share with you some thoughts and reflections that I've had about the challenge that we face now with so much of the work being done remotely. How do we keep, attract and engage those staff? And these are really just some reflections from working with a number of clients over the last 4 or 5 months. There's quite a growing body of evidence now to say that most candidates actually now want flexible workplaces. And actually, there's been an interesting piece of research that has said that candidates are now actively not applying for roles where they think that that is not available. And so I think there's a real challenge for organisations to think through how flexible they can actually make their workforce, because some organisations actually need staff to be in the offices, to be in their places of work. But what that does give us is a much, much wider pool of applicants, because the research shows that when people are looking for jobs, they look at the job title, then they look at the salary, then they look at the location. And only if those 3 boxes are ticked do they then move on to look at the actual job description. But with flexible locations and only needing to be in the office a couple of days a week, suddenly people are willing to commute much further than they would if it was 5 days a week or 4 days a week. So we've got now the opportunity to attract a much wider pool. And my experience, and it might just be the clients that I've worked with, but for quite a lot of roles, there's still a struggle to attract high caliber applicants. Yes, the volume of applications is going up, but the caliber is not necessarily improving in the same way. So I think organisations take the view that, there's lots of people out there at their peril. Works for some industries, not for others. But once we've got people in the organisation, I think we need to think through their preferred office home life balance. The organisation may have a view, you may want to put something in place, but all the research is starting to show that some people are actually really, really struggling to work from home, that they find it difficult for motivational reasons, for practical reasons. And actually there's a real fine balance now where the shift seems to be that maybe home working isn't quite as wonderful in the longer term as everybody thought it was, and people want to get back into the office. And what I'm finding is that the clients who actually talk to their employees on an individual basis are those that actually get the best engagement. There certainly seems to be a pattern that 2 days in the office, 3 days working from home, or 1 day in the office, 2 days, 4 days working from home appears to be the ideal. And I think a couple of other things to think through. Creating that office chit chat, that's been the one thing that people have missed. The networking, it's the coffee, it's the casual conversations. And I know a couple of my clients that actually now put in water cooler meetings where people can just drop in and talk just for 15 minutes with a cup of coffee if they want to. The other thing is thinking about creative ways about holding meetings. Everybody is zoomed out. It's almost a new phenomenon. But I've known a couple of organisations that have started to say, okay, our one-to-one meetings going forward, we're not going to do them by Zoom. We're going to have a phone call and we're going to alternate. So one person's going to go out for a walk, the other person will be in the office, they'll write the notes, and the whole conversation will be done that way. So I think it's about finding ways to achieve the outcome without thinking default, it's got to be a Zoom meeting. The other thing I would say is be explicit about giving permission to switch off. A lot of staff are finding that they feel they need to work those extra hours, and it's really tempting when your laptop is literally 3 feet from your sofa. And then the final point is regularly check in, not on well-being, just on well-being, but also about the regular surveys that can be done through SurveyMonkey really cheaply. They don't need to cost any money.